Fight!
So a lot of people have been suggesting game modes they want to see added to Tekken 8. The modes I've seen asked for the most are Team Battle, Tekken Force, some people want Tekken Bowling. In my opinion, Tekken 8 needs a new PvP game mode that is going to bring in players that might be tired of the usual 1v1 experience. I am here today to reopen the Tekken 8 tag mode discussion. The main reason I want a tag mode added to Tekken 8 is because with a tag mode comes pair play. For those of you who don't know, pair play is when you play a 2v2 tag fighter, but instead of controlling both characters, you only pilot one, and you have a teammate who pilots the other. So it's basically a 4-player 2v2. I think pair play is important for Tekken because of what Harada said about modern gamers on the Game Maker's Notebook podcast. Harada is asked about the future of fighting games and how he thinks they will evolve. Harada's response is that he feels like modern gamers are not as interested in competition, especially one-on-one competition. This is naturally a problem for fighting games since they are usually exclusively one-on-one. Now, whether this is true or not is beyond me. I have no clue if the older generation was more competitive and would never shy away from a 1v1. I would imagine part of the reason fighting games might have been more popular back then is because there simply weren't as many games at the time, but none of this really matters, because there's no doubt, competitive or not, most gamers like to play games with their friends. Even for a ranked warrior like myself, the most fun I have in Tekken 8 is when I'm in a lobby with my brother or my friends. People are naturally social, and playing ranked in a fighting game for hours can start to feel kinda lonely. While in other games, when you matchmake, which is how most people play games, you're matched with a bunch of people, you have to work together with them in order to win. Maybe you make some friends, you guys decide to party up. Overall, interacting with people is a big part of the experience. If you think about it, it makes sense. Why would someone who plays Call of Duty, Marvel Rivals, League, Helldivers with his friends every day drop his current game and start grinding Tekken matchmaking all by himself? This is where pair play comes in. By adding a tag mode with pair play, you solve the problem of gamers with fragile egos needing to blame their teammates for their losses, and it adds a mode for those who want to matchmake with their friends and work together to achieve a goal. Now, I'm aware Michael Murray said on the post-release roadmap Tekken Talk that they can't add a tag mode because the game wouldn't be able to handle 4 characters on screen because of how detailed the stages are.
So just about tag, please hold off on that. As we mentioned way back when we did Tag 2, it's when you try to have 4 characters on screen at the same time, obviously it really limits your resources, so the stage would have to be really pared down to something that's not that immersive. So that's not really realistic at this point, at the moment, so please hold off on the tag comments.
So basically, if they wanted to add a tag mode, they would have to make stages a lot plainer. Now, if this is truly the main issue, I think they should make stages that are specifically designed for tag. Stages that are plain, don't have anything going on in the background, you're just in a random field, alleyway, building, nothing too complicated. I'll even take a stage that's just a giant white box. Seriously, something kinda like Geometric Plane, but without all the moving parts in the background, anything to get a tag mode in Tekken 8. They could even bring back the old Tag 2 stages and just upscale them to 4K or whatever. I know it's a lot more complicated than it sounds, but I believe there are solutions to these problems. I don't think tag needs to be balanced since it is a side mode after all. The community will have to accept that this isn't serious, it's just for fun. With that being said, most games usually have one ranked mode and that's it. I don't think we should also make tag ranked since it could be very unbalanced. Also, ranked in most games usually follows the competitive rules, and Tekken 8 is not a tag fighter, so it wouldn't even make sense. But I think people like to work towards something when they matchmake, so maybe a leaderboard could get added for the tag mode. And honestly, I think we should even get one for Quick Match. These leaderboards could display something like the players with the most wins or something like that. It isn't ranked, but it's still something people can grind to try to earn the #1 spot. I don't think we will need too many tag-specific stages, maybe just one per season. I don't think they need to bring back all the tag mechanics like Tag Assault and Tag Crash. Although if they want to bring those back, that's great. I mainly just want to be able to play Tekken 8 with a tag button. There's other issues too, like having to animate character poses, but I think if they take each character's simplest pose and just have the characters do them standing next to each other during intros and wins, that'll be acceptable. Again, it's a side mode, I'm not expecting the devs to animate new poses. Now some people might be worried that a tag mode will have a negative impact on the community. I'm gonna let you guys know that Dead or Alive and Mortal Kombat 9 were both 1v1 fighters, but both had a tag mode. And as far as I've looked into it, some people seem to really enjoy it, and the rest either didn't care or didn't even know it was there. Tag had no negative impact on the community, it did not split the player base, it was just there for people to enjoy if they wanted to try something different. If these older games were able to implement this feature, I don't see any reason why we can't have it now. I think tag will do a lot for the community. Imagine having side pair play tournaments where you have Ulsan and CBM teaming up, or Arslan and Atif. Imagine FDX did a series with Maximilian where instead of just coaching him, they actually team up. There is just so much potential with this feature. I feel like every fighting game should implement it, whether it's a tag fighter or not. There are tons of people that would be interested in pair play, and the fact that 2xKO will have it is going to give them a serious edge. So finally, I'm going to talk about how I would expect tag to be implemented into Tekken 8. There would be tag matchmaking, of course, basically quick match but for tag. There should be leaderboards, players should be able to solo queue or duo queue. For those who want to duo queue, they should be able to party up even if they are on separate PCs or consoles. Tekken Tag 2 only lets you pair play if you're on the same system. I want to see it implemented the way that it is in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where you can party up with a friend that is on a different system. I think there should be a tag option in player match as well. I would also like them to make it so that you have to eliminate both characters, not just one, to win a round. This way we will have situations where one player has to clutch a 1v2, and I think that would be super hype. Let me know what modes you would like to see added to Tekken 8. I'm not against other modes, I like Team Battle. Eventually I'd like to see every game mode added to Tekken 8. I just think that Team Battle sounds like more 1v1 Tekken but with extra steps. I think now is the time for the developers to focus on more unique experiences that we don't have. If you see the vision, spread the word, let's get a tag mode in Tekken 8, and have a great day.